student, today we are going to start the new chapter Constitutional Design from the book Democratic Politics First. Today the following topics from this chapter are being highlighted. The most hold significant importance. First of all, democratic constitution in South Africa. Second, making of the Indian Constitution. So today we will discuss about the democratic constitution in South Africa. This was Nelson Mandela. He was a famous leader of African National Congress, fought a long battle against apartheid. He and 7 other leaders were sentenced to life imprisonment in 1964 for daring to oppose the apartheid regime in his country. And tried for treason. Treason means the offense of attempting to overthrow the government of the state. He spent the next 28 years in South Africa, most dread regions, Robben Island. Later he emerged as the first president of the Republic of South Africa. Now we discuss about how was the struggle took place against apartheid. Apartheid was the name of system of racial discrimination unique to South Africa. The system of apartheid divided the people and labeled them on the basis of their skin of color. The white Europeans imposed this system on South Africa during 17th and 18th centuries. The native people of South Africa are black in color. They made up about 3/4 of the population and were called blacks. Besides these two groups, there were people of mixed race who were called colored and people who migrated from India. So in South Africa, 3 types of people lived here: whites, blacks and colored. Whites refers to European people who ruled in South Africa, and blacks refers to native people of South Africa, and colored people refers to people who migrated from India. In the South Africa, the apartheid system took place through the policy of segregation. What is the policy of segregation? The white rulers treated all non-whites as inferiors. The non-whites did not have voting rights. The apartheid system was particularly oppressive for blacks. They were forbidden from living in white areas. They could work in white areas only if they had a permit. Trains, buses, taxis, hotels, hospitals, schools and colleges, libraries, cinema halls, theatres, beaches, swimming pools, public toilets were all separate for whites and blacks. This was called a segregation. They could not even visit the churches where the whites worshipped. Blacks could not form association or protest against the terrible treatment. Since 1950, the blacks, colored and Indians fought against the apartheid system. They launched protest march and strikes The African National Congress was the umbrella organization that led the struggle against the policy of segregation. This included many workers' unions and the Communist Party. Many sensitive whites also joined the ANC to oppose apartheid and played a leading role in this struggle. Several countries denounced apartheid as unjust and racist, but the white racist government continued to rule by detaining, torturing and killing thousands of blacks and colored people. As protests and struggles against apartheid had increased, the government realized that they could not longer keep the blacks under their rule through repressions. The white regime changed its policy and it opened the new way towards the new constitution of South Africa. Discriminatory laws was repealed, ban on political parties and restrictions on the media were lifted. Finally, at the midnight of 26th April 1994, the new national flag of the Republic of South Africa was unfurled, making the newly born democracy in the world. The apartheid government came to an end, paving way for formation of multiracial government. Mandela, the first president of the new South Africa on these extraordinary transitions. New South Africa, based on equality of all races and men and women, on democratic values, social justice and human rights, draw up a common constitution for all. After the emergence of the new democratic South Africa, black leaders appealed to fellow blacks to forgive the whites for the atrocities they had committed while in power. They said, "Let us build a new South African based on equality of all races, men and women." After 2 years of discussion and debate, they came out with one of the finest constitutions the world has ever had. The preamble to the South African Constitution sums up this spirit. The South African Constitution inspires Democrats all over the world, a state denounced by the entire world till recently as the most undemocratic one, is now seen as a model of democracy. Made this change possible was the determination of people of South Africa to work together to transform bitter experience into the binding glue of a rainbow nation. Constitutional making is not unique to South Africa. Every country has diverse groups of people. Their relation may not have been as bad as that between the whites and the blacks in South Africa. But all over the world, people have differences of opinion and interest, whether democratic or not. Most countries in the world need to have these basic rules. This applies not just to governments. Any association needs to have its constitutions. It could be a club in your area, a cooperative society or a political party. They all need a constitution. Thus, the constitution of the country is a set of written rules that are accepted by all people live together in a country. Constitution is the supreme law that determines the relationship among people living in a territory and also the relationship between the people and the government. It generates trust and coordination that is necessary for different kind of people to live together. Second, it specifies how the government will be constituted, who will have power to take which decisions. Third, it lays down limits on the powers of the government and tells us what the rights of the citizens are. And fourth, it expresses the aspiration of the people about creating a good society. All countries that have constitution are not necessarily democratic, but all countries that are democratic will have constitutions. After the War of Independence against Great Britain, the Americans gave themselves a constitution. After the revolution, the French people approved a democratic constitutions. Since then, it has become a practice in all democracies to have a written constitution. That's all for today. I hope you all are understood this part of the chapter very well. We will discuss remaining part of the chapter in next video. Thank you.